In this video, we'll be taking a look at 5 college football games happening on November 29, 2025, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 10 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 5 college football games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start: if you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Ohio State versus Michigan. The stage feels oversized, even for a rivalry this old. Ohio State arrives with a perfect record, 11-0, and a profile built on efficiency, control, and a defense that treats first downs like contraband. Michigan counters with 9-2, a spotless home record, and a style that values field position, patience, and long drives that drain both the clock and the will of an opponent. The spread favors the visitors, yet the setting tilts some weight back toward the home sideline. The crowd will pack the stadium, the late-season cold will settle in, and the kind of football both teams play naturally keeps possessions scarce. Fewer possessions mean fewer chances for a favorite to create separation, and fewer chances for a defense to relax. Michigan leans into that kind of game with comfort. Ohio State tries to enforce its preferred pace, but must do so in a building that has not been friendly to them in recent years. All of that creates a tight rhythm where the underdog benefits from every slow snap, every long huddle, and every drive that chews time instead of turf. As our first pick for this matchup, the Michigan Wolverines to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. Both teams carry strong defensive identities, and both shape the game around discipline rather than frenzy. Ohio State limits explosive plays and forces opponents to win inch by inch. Michigan plays with the same restraint and trusts its defense to steer the tempo. These styles match the late November forecast, cold and heavy, which often reduces deep passing and keeps special teams cautious. Each offense can score when needed, yet both prefer to avoid a loose flow. Long drives, short passes, and steady runs slow the action. Rivalry pressure tightens play calling. Coaches tend to cut risk rather than add it. The result is a game where field position feels as important as yardage, and where every point comes with effort. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total, is our full game total pick. Miami, Florida versus Pittsburgh. A pair of ranked conference teams meet in the Steel City as Miami, listed at number 12, heads north to play Pitt, listed at number 22, on Saturday afternoon. Miami handled Virginia Tech on the road by a score of 34-17, although the margin did not meet the line that favored them by 18. Pitt walked into Georgia Tech's home field, faced a team ranked 16, and left with a 42-28 win after entering as a 2.5 point underdog. The series history tilts toward Miami at 29-12-1, yet Pitt claimed the most recent result with a 42-16 road victory in late November of 2022. Pitt stays within reach of a conference title berth in a year packed with close margins across the league. Miami seeks to keep its postseason hopes alive after a setback on the first day of November against SMU. Since that loss, Miami has responded with 3 straight wins that total a scoring spread of 113-34. Pitt moved on from its defeat against Notre Dame by taking down Georgia Tech, although the matchup here involves a freshman signal caller on one side and a more seasoned one on the other. Pitt holds home field and colder conditions may play a part, yet Miami carries significant stakes into the contest. As our first pick for this matchup, the Miami Hurricanes to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Miami has seen 6 of its 11 contests finish under the posted number this season. 2 of 3 road games ended under, including a combined total of 50 points in a 6-point win at Florida State against a number of 54.5, and 46 points in the loss to SMU against a total of 50.5. The win at Virginia Tech reached 51 points against a line of 49.5. Pitt has gone over in 7 of 11 games and has gone over in 4 of 6 home dates. Miami plays a tight defensive style that limits explosive scoring, and that approach shapes the outlook for this matchup. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total, is our full game total pick. Southern versus Grambling. Grambling enters the Bayou Classic with a steady grip on its identity, holding a 7-4 overall mark and a strong presence in the Southwestern Athletic Conference West. Southern arrives with a 1-10 record and a 0-7 run in league play, and the contrast shows in how each group handles pressure, tempo, and routine execution. Grambling keeps its structure intact on most drives and leans on a defense that holds its shape and limits free yards. Southern often loses rhythm through penalties that interrupt flow and turn simple possessions into long uphill marches. That contrast shapes the feel of this matchup because one side comes in with order and the other comes in fighting its own setbacks. The spread sits with Grambling listed as a 13.5 point favorite, and the line lines up with the way both teams have played over the full season. As our first pick for this matchup, the Grambling State Tigers to cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. The total number reflects a balance between Grambling's steady defense and Southern's tendency to burn clock through stalled possessions. Grambling has hit 5 straight unders because its defense limits explosive plays while its offense moves the ball without always finishing drives cleanly, especially with its pattern of lost fumbles this year. Southern brings a slower style that comes from penalties, broken rhythm, and long yardage situations that drain time without producing steady points. The mix of a structured defense, a methodical offense, and an opponent that often stops its own drives points to a game where the scoreboard rises at a measured pace rather than a quick one. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Oregon versus Washington. The Oregon Ducks, with a record of 10-1, 6-4-1 against the spread, and 6-5 over-under, meet the Washington Huskies, who enter at 8-3, 6-5 against the spread, 6-5 over-under, and 6-5 over-under, as the two Big Ten programs close their regular seasons on Saturday evening. Washington allows 17.5 points per game and has 4 steady takeaways, including 3 in the win over UCLA. That defense meets an Oregon offense that scores over 33 points per game, yet Washington's pressure and pursuit have limited big plays throughout the season. The Huskies rely on a balanced approach with Damon Williams Jr. using his arm and legs to keep drives alive. Jonah Coleman works between the tackles and turns short gains into long possessions. This mix helps Washington shorten games and keep its defense rested. Oregon leans on Dante Moore to stretch the field, while Noah Whittington gives the Ducks a steady ground option that supports their spacing concepts. Even with that firepower, Washington's secondary can challenge routes and force Oregon to work through longer sequences. Denzel Boston and Chase Roberts give the Huskies threats on the perimeter and open windows that let Williams attack downfield or move the chains. This rivalry often rewards patience and execution, and each snap becomes a battle for field position. As our first pick for this matchup, the Washington Huskies to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. Both defenses reduce explosive plays. Oregon holds opponents to just over 20 points per game, and Washington limits teams to 17.5. The Huskies often run behind Jonah Coleman and let Williams guide a methodical offense that drains time. Oregon uses Whittington to keep its tempo in check while Moore works controlled reads in the passing game. These styles favor long possessions that limit drives on both sides. Over their last 10 games combined, the two teams have hit the under 7 times and cleared the over only 3 times. In a rivalry setting, each side protects the ball and values field position, which often keeps scoring in check. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Vanderbilt versus Tennessee. The rivalry in this state has no formal title, yet it dates to the late 19th century and has carried plenty of history. The Volunteers have taken the last 4 meetings, scoring at least 36 points each time. Vanderbilt kept some of those games close, but this year's group looks better built for the task. The Commodores rank in the top 10 in scoring, total offense, yards per play, and red zone touchdown rate for the season. Their pace has not dipped. From week 9 on, they sit 6th in PPA per play, with top 20 marks on standard downs, passing downs, and points per quality drive. Their strength on third down comes from steady gains on first and second down, an area where this Tennessee defense struggles. The Volunteers sit outside the top 80 in third down conversion rate allowed, and they sit near the bottom nationally in red zone touchdown rate allowed. The stakes also tilt in one direction. Tennessee sits in a spot where the postseason is secure, but a run to the playoff is out of reach with 3 losses. Vanderbilt, now at 9-2, still holds a path if they win and the results above them break right. It is the kind of opportunity few expect expected when the season started, doubt still follows Vanderbilt. The program lacks a long history of football success, and people often focus on the school's academic profile rather than its on-field progress. The Commodores have also dropped 6 straight in this matchup. Even so, this situation favors them, and it offers Diego Pavaya another moment to build his mark. Both teams can score, both defenses show clear gaps. Vanderbilt's body of work compares well with Tennessee's. The Volunteers still get credit at home, yet the Commodores look like the more complete team. Tennessee has had trouble getting stops, with rankings in the 80s for total defense and the 90s for scoring defense. Slowing Vanderbilt's quarterback looks like a challenge. Vanderbilt has covered in 12-3 games as an underdog, and 7 of those covers came as outright wins. Pavia has made a habit of rising when the spread leans against him, and he brings the same approach here. The setting in Knoxville does not shift the matchup enough to change that view. Vanderbilt enters as the underdog, and that role fits them. As our first pick for this matchup, the Vanderbilt Commodores to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. The weather in Knoxville figures to be cold but steady, with no precipitation and little wind. Conditions favor both offenses. One team moves with a slower rhythm, the other pushes tempo, but each can reach scoring range fast. When either group crosses that threshold, drives often end in points, and touchdowns come often. Vanderbilt's high passing rate also stops the clock on incompletions, which can raise the volume of drives. Tennessee has given up explosive plays all season. That trend meets a Vanderbilt offense led by a quarterback who can create them. Tennessee should also find chances downfield since Vanderbilt's pass rush does not hit often, which gives the Volunteers room to throw in space. Metrics support the shape of this matchup. Vanderbilt holds the top spot in offensive efficiency in the Southeastern Conference Index, and Tennessee sits 9th. The defenses sit further back, with Tennessee at 34 and Vanderbilt at 57. Both offenses lean on the pass, and both secondaries sit near the bottom of the rankings. Vanderbilt stands 16th in passing offense at about 284 yards per game, and Tennessee sits 111th in passing yards allowed. Tennessee stands 4th in passing offense at about 308 yards per game, and Vanderbilt sits 113th in passing yards allowed. The pieces point to steady scoring from both sidelines. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed, subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.